As a real estate agent in the Tri-Cities, I often hear comments about how much development there is in Coquitlam. Every time I hear it, my eyebrows perk up. Because it wasn't always the case. Alright kids, gather around, it's story time. When I was a young lad, I worked at a Thai restaurant on Clark Road in Coquitlam. I washed dishes after school and on weekends for a couple of years before I got promoted to cleaning tables instead. The Burquitlam area was not the nicest part of town back then. I used to think that Coquitlam was the dumps, and my teenage brain thought things will always be the same. It was poorly lit and it was mostly wood-framed low-rise rental buildings in the area. No SkyTrain, no glass towers staring at you from all directions, but there was a bar called Rhinos that seemed like a cool place to hang out. Fast forward to today, and Coquitlam is unrecognizable in the most amazing way. And the wild part? The next decade may matter more than the last one, but only if you know which Coquitlam you're buying into, because it's not one suburb anymore. If you're moving to Coquitlam, or already living in Coquitlam, and trying to time a move, the pocket you pick matters more than the city brand on the sign. Stay tuned as we break down the future of Coquitlam and what it actually means for home buyers and sellers. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, my name is Simon Liu, and I'm your friend in real estate here in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. I've helped people make smart real estate moves across Greater Vancouver for nearly 2 decades. If you're thinking about making a move, my team and I would love to help. I invite you to send a message using the information below. Let us help you find your happy home. Today, I want to walk you through the future of Coquitlam in 4 honest chapters. There's the density story around Coquitlam Centre and Burquitlam. There's the waterfront story at Fraser Mills, the family growth story on Burke Mountain Coquitlam, and then the Coquitlam real estate market story that is told by the numbers, because population growth only matters if you know how to use it as a buyer or seller. There will be no hype, no everything is crashing monologue, just a clear map. If Coquitlam development makes you picture traffic jams and nothing else, start here. Chapter 1 is about the density story around the SkyTrain stations at Coquitlam Centre and Burquitlam. Let's start with Coquitlam Centre and the city's centre corridor. If you picture Coquitlam's downtown feeling, this is it. Mall, civic energy, offices, food courts that have seen things, and now a stack of homes growing up around the SkyTrain spine. Coquitlam Central and the Lincoln Station areas turned this once sleepy area into the most convenient spot that is becoming the busiest job and hangout magnet in the city. City planning has pointed to more height, more rental incentive, and more mixed use toward the center for years. Master plan sites keep repeating the same pattern. Mid-rise buildings over active street life, homes within a short walk to the SkyTrain station, and high-rises with a concierge named Gary. When buyers say they want Coquitlam with convenience baked in, they usually mean this pocket first. Groceries, transit, evening options without a 20-minute drive that turns into 40 because of one fender bender on Lloyd Highway caused by a few raindrops. That is why the center area tends to attract a blend of audiences. First-time home buyers, downsizers who still want a life, investors who care about the long-term renter demand, and people who simply refuse to own a second car if they can help it. I know some of us bonded with our parking spots, but rest in peace, endless asphalt next to the food court. Progress is rude that way. Now, the second half of the density story, Burquitlam. Burquitlam is smaller in scale than the center corridor, and that is the point. It's not trying to become Coquitlam's main character. It is content just being an NPC. But being the connector on the Evergreen line, linked tightly to Burnaby, where station area redevelopment turns an older commercial strip into homes, shops, and a walkable core, Burquitlam is quietly making a name for itself. The big name people keep hearing is the Burquitlam Plaza. Roughly 7.7 acres right beside the station. The vision is straightforward. Towers and townhomes over podiums. Retail and restaurant at grade. Plazas instead of parking lots with enough space to hit 88 miles per hour. So think of them as a pair, not twins. Coquitlam Centre is the larger primary core. Burquitlam is the smaller transit village on the western edge. It is a stronger transit-oriented lifestyle toward Burnaby and the rest of the network. If you plan to sell a home near the center, your competition includes a lot of new homes and a buyer that compares lobbies like tasting menus. If you're in Coquitlam, your pond is smaller, but the new inventory still sets the beauty standard. Clarity on renovations, pricing, and packaging matters in both. Stubborn 2021 math does not. Oh, and if you're sitting there thinking, great, more towers, impossible for families. Hang on, Coquitlam did not put every egg in a high-rise basket. Next up, a full waterfront city under Fraser, and a mountain built for backpacks and cleats. Wildly different omelets. Chapter 2 is the one that still surprises people. Have you heard of Fraser Mills? No, he's not another real estate agent at Keller Williams. Or maybe he is. I haven't met all 200,000 agents at our company. It's the Fraser Mills Coquitlam waterfront story. Coquitlam's first truly master-planned waterfront community on the Fraser River. For years, Coquitlam was known as the suburb with Koreatown, furniture stores, and a lot of parks. Waterfront living felt like something you drove west for and paid a small fortune for the Instagram story that got you 3 likes. Fraser Mills flips that script. The plan includes 20 stories, around 5,500 homes, and over 200,000 square feet of commercial space with about 9.4 acres of parkland. Projects like Debut, Encore, and Chapter are already under construction, with completions planned for 2028 and 2029. There is also a major aquatic and community center planned as a real amenity anchor, not just a fitness center next to a barbecue lounge. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but even I can tell you that homes beside a river, with parks nearby, plus jobs on this side of the bridge equals a good home. You don't need a finance degree for that math. It is not only for first-time condo buyers, it is also great for downsizers who want an extra incentive to give up the big family home while staying in the Tri-Cities, and people who work east of the Fraser River who want to stay on this side of the bridge. Is the home on the waterfront brochure a little dramatic? A little bit. Some of them even look like they're selling you into the Palm Jumeirah. I'm looking at you, Concord Pacific. Still, the location is real, the river is real. The build-out is happening in phases you can drive past. If you're buying here, don't fall for the brochure photo. Fraser Mills is a long game. Patience is part of the purchase price. You are buying into a community that will look unfinished at points, and it's at least a decade before it's substantially complete. If you already own a home nearby, the new waterfront inventory is added value. Coquitlam homes win when they lean heavily into private yards, privacy, parking, and amenities of a nearby master plan community that simply cannot be faked. Chapter 3 is for anyone who hears density and immediately starts shivering at the thought of cranes replacing trees. Burke Mountain Coquitlam, up in the northeast, is the family growth story. Burke Mountain Village, once talked about as part of the Partington Creek Neighborhood Center, is planned as a residential, social, and commercial hub of the Northeast. Roughly 120,000 square feet of retail, a public plaza, housing, and as a major anchor, Burke Mountain Community Center and Burke Village Park, with the community center often discussed as opening around 2029. Pools, gym, library, splash pad. The whole happy to leave the house on a rainy Tuesday package. Today, the pattern is familiar for new mountain communities. Homes and people arrive first, then the village weaves together. The laws of supply and demand dictates that there needs to be enough pressure for a service before it can sustainably be offered. Which is a polite way of saying, no, you cannot will a Whole Foods into existence with a Facebook post alone. I've tried. Population conversations around Burke Mountain often land in a big range. Near term, you already have about 20,000 residents on the mountain as development continues. Longer term, planning points toward 50,000 over a couple of decades once it's fully built out. Exact numbers shift with markets and school timing, so treat projections as a direction of travel, not a GPS pin. Schools will keep mattering, transit advocacy will keep mattering, and families will keep choosing Burke for space, views, new housing, and that we can actually stretch out our arms feeling you do not always get, just a 10-minute drive to the west. For buyers, Burke Mountain is often about the next 10 years of kids, dogs, and minivans. If your plan also includes standing in the rain, watching bees swarm, and a Costco run that requires military logistics, this chapter is waving at you. For sellers of townhomes and single-family homes, your buyer already believes in the location. Your job is delivering the best product in the best condition and a price that respects rate reality rather than 2021 cosplay. So 3 amazing areas of focus in Coquitlam. Sounds great. Stick around because we're going to talk about the one thing that explains why these projects are happening in Coquitlam. So how big is the Coquitlam real estate story overall? City figures put Coquitlam's population in the 170,000 range in 2025, with the official community plan process updated to guide the next layer of growth. Already one of the fastest growing communities in BC, Coquitlam's population is projected to reach 224,000 by 2041. You don't need a PhD in municipal PDFs to feel it. Construction cranes, infrastructure upgrades, more coffee shops popping up all over the city. Population growth doesn't guarantee that prices will just keep escalating, like the subscription for the sports streaming channel that recently axed the only local sports talk radio show in the city. Markets cycle, rates move, inventory fluctuates. What growth does is shape the demand in different housing types in different pockets. If this all feels like a lot, good. Cities that matter always feel like a lot. The goal is not to memorize every tower's name. The goal is to start seeing Coquitlam as 3 growth engines running side by side. For buyers, growth tells you which product type gets more competition. For sellers, growth tells you which comps matter most in your micro market. Same city, 3 engines, don't price like they're identical. So which chapter intrigues you the most if you're buying a Coquitlam this year? Density, waterfront, or mountain? Use the comments. I'd love to discuss the topics some more. And if you want a custom shortlist for your budget and timeline, if you're moving to Coquitlam or trading up inside it, send us a message with the information below. We do this every week with real people and not just with B-rolls and hope. So, live in Coquitlam. In one breath, 3 engines, not one suburb. Density on the SkyTrain spine, waterfront on the Fraser, family growth in the mountain. Population is the baseline under all 3. It does not decide your outcome, your plan does. Buy the story that matches your next decade. Sell to the real competition in your micro market. And if you're still deciding, that is fine too. Gathering data beats guessing. And guessing is how you tour the wrong postal code because your cousin's coworker heard something. If you want a clear next step for your chapter, your first step is to email me at info@happyhomesvancouver.com or send a text message to 778-688-6838 and let's help you get settled into your happy home. If you found this video helpful and want to see more of it, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel or share with a friend so that you can help us help more people. In the meantime, check out our other Coquitlam and neighborhood guides. We'll have a link for you in the show notes. Again, my name is Simon Liu, here to serve you here in Vancouver, BC. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.